BigCountryPreps.com. I'm Evan Wren, and this is the Countdown to Two-A-Days series, our daily look at an area football team and the key questions we'll be answering about that team in our August 20th preseason preview here at Big Country Preps. I'm with my partner, Dan Youngblood, via Zoom. And tonight, Dan, it is the Big Spring Steers we're talking about.
Yeah, and this is a Big Spring team that I'm pretty bullish on. They returned 20 of their 28 lettermen from last year's 5 and 6 squad, including 9 starters on both sides of the ball. A lot of guys that got a whole lot of playing time last year. I think that this is a team that Coach Ken McWilliams thinks is ready to take a big step forward, and I'm eager to see if they can. Obviously, they're going to have some questions that they're going to have to answer to do that, and we'll talk about some of those here in just a little bit. But yeah, on paper, this looks like it could be a really fun season for Big Spring.
All right, before we start talking about the Steers, we need to remind you folks to please hit the subscribe button at YouTube. It's free. After that, please hit that little bell and you'll get notifications each and every time that we at Big Country Preps post a video there. And with that, Dan, it's time to talk about Big Spring and some of the key questions. What is your first question about them?
I think my first one is just how much progress are we going to see from this team? When you're returning 9 starters on both sides of the football, you're talking about a lot of guys that got a whole lot of snaps last year. And this was a team that they're in a 4-team district, so everybody makes the playoffs. But they went 2-1 in that district and finished as the runners up. So I think this is a Big Spring team that is hoping to snap a long streak without a district championship. They're hoping to contend with Andrews at the top of this district, and I'm just interested to see if they can. I think this is a team that has a lot of returning talent, a lot of explosive skill guys, and some really solid linemen on both sides of the football too. So I'm interested to see what this team can accomplish this year, and if they can take that big step forward and kind of have that marquee season that Big Spring's kind of been looking for here in the last several years.
I think one key is they're going to have to settle on a quarterback at more than likely, at least at this point. It'll probably be Marcus Rios, who got to start a couple of games for them last year when the now graduated Giannis was injured. And he actually performed well, Rios did. In his 2 starts, he completed 26 of 49 passes for 389 yards, threw 5 touchdown passes, even rushed for 161 yards. So he was productive when he got a shot. He is now a senior. He's a mature kid. And I would be optimistic that he's going to come in there and perform. And if he does, he's surrounded with quality skill people. They've got some good receiving. They've got some good running backs. They've got a big offensive line. I would be very optimistic if they get execution out of that quarterback position. The Steers are going to be stout.
Yeah, and one thing that Big Spring did last year was kind of moved away from that air raid offense in favor of a more of a power spread to where they're running the football more. So Rios won't be under quite the same pressure that maybe some of their quarterbacks were, 3 and 4 years ago, where they had to kind of be the guy. So he's going to have some really nice weapons around him. When you talk about guys like Jacoby Lozano, Ethan Threets, some big time weapons on the edges, a solid running back as well, like you said, and Xander Garza. He's going to have some weapons. So it's going to be fun to watch. My last question is on the other side of the football, where again you're talking about 9 returning starters in that defense. My question is, can this be the best defense that Coach Cannon Williams has fielded at Big Spring? I think it has that opportunity. They've had a couple of solid ones, so it's not going to necessarily be an easy thing to accomplish, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. They've got some really nice players on that defensive side of the ball, headed by R.J. Gomez, a senior lineman who is a big time disruptor. Had 21 tackles for loss last year, 10 sacks, a guy who can really get after it in the backfield. So I'm interested to see how good this defense can be, because if this defense can kind of hit that ceiling and be a real strength for this team, I think they might be able to challenge Andrews for a district championship, which would be pretty cool, because I don't think they've won a district title outright since something like 1990, and I think it's gonna be cool if they can do that.
You and I, as far as big country football, we've been around for a while now.
Mm.
We've been around, especially you, since you're a lot older than me. But I mean, in your recollection, do you recall? There've been some good Big Spring teams, right? But every single team of theirs that was of high quality since we've been here, then in my recollection, it was centered largely around offense.
Mhm.
I do not recall a truly dominating defensive Big Spring football team, a team that can really rough you up defensively and dominate. This might be the first one of those that we've ever seen. That's possible. At
Yeah.
least on paper, it looks possible.
Yeah, I think this defense has a chance to be really good. And then, like to your point about being offensive led, I think every really good, like capable of making it, 3 rounds deep in the playoff team from Big Spring that I've seen in the time I've been here has been quarterbacked by a Tannehill. So, and I wasn't here for the first one for the big one, but I saw his two younger brothers who are both great players in their own right, and both led them into deep runs. And I think this team. It's going to be interesting because I know that's the goal. Coach McWilliams, since he's been there, has wanted to get his team to that type of level where they're making a playoff run, where they're challenging for district championships. I'm going to be interested to see if they can accomplish that this year.
All right, we're going to be taking a peek at Big Spring's schedule for 2025. But before we do that, we need to thank a few of our sponsors. Beginning with For the Love of the Game Broadcasting and our old friend Terry Slavens, owner of K-Lakes 93.5 FM out of Brackenridge, 97.7 FM KATX out of Eastland, Classic Country AM 1330 out of Graham, 94.7 FM KWKQ out of Graham, KROO 1430 AM out of Bracken, KWBY 98.5 FM out of Ranger. That is For the Love of the Game Broadcasting. Also, Rob Durham, sales consultant at Bayer Chevrolet Buick Cadillac up in Breckenridge. If you're in the market for a new vehicle or a used vehicle, call Rob. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet. Give him a shout at 254 559 2266. That's Rob Durham up at Bayer Chevrolet Buick Cadillac in Breckenridge. And finally, Cavalry Resources and Construction, located up in Breckenridge, serving the entire big country, offering custom standing seam roofing made on location and all commercial roofing applications. Give Kobe Walker a shout at 254 246 5546. That is Cavalry Resources and Construction in Breckenridge. All right, and with that, it's time to take a look at Big Spring's schedule for 2025. We'll start with the non-district portion, which, Dan, is a big non-district portion since they're in a four-team district. So I'll be busy here for a second. They will open on August 29th in El Paso, facing El Paso Riverside. There's a road trip. They'll be playing host to Lubbock High on September the 5th in their home opener. They'll be at Borger on September 12th. They will again go to El Paso on September 19th to face Bel Air High School. 2 road trips to El Paso.
Mhm.
All right. Then they'll play host to Snyder on September the 26th. Again, another home date with Fort Stockton on October the 3rd. And then they will travel to Kermit on September the 10th before jumping into district.
And after that October 17th open date, they will open district a big home game against Andrews on the 24th before hosting San Angelo Lakeview a week later on Halloween night. And then they will wrap up their district schedule in their regular season at Pecos on November 7th. So with just the 3 district games, they're already in the playoffs. It's just a matter of seeding, but it's gonna be fun to see if maybe they can challenge at the top of that district this year.
All right. Game of the year. I think actually this is a pretty easy pick. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. To me, and we'll see if they're ready to compete at that level. But to me, that game district opener against Andrews at home is, I think, an opportunity for this program to just kind of show where they are to see if this team is ready to challenge for, like I said, the first district championship in a long time, and that's going to be a big game. This Andrews team is no joke. That's a good program. Got a great running game. That is going to be a very difficult running game to stop. But that should be fun. I'm excited to see what this Big Spring team can do. And with that non-district schedule, I think they got a chance to really build some confidence. There are a lot of wins on that non-district slate, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. There's a lot of chances there to gain some confidence and gain some wins. And if they gain enough of them, we could be having a Big Country perhaps game of the week in Big Spring on October the 24th with Andrews. And it's been a little while since we've had our game of the week in Big Spring as they've kind of rebuilt the program out there. But that game there has the potential to be a game of the week, no doubt about it. And the winner of that more than likely is going to be in the driver's seat
Yeah.
to take the league.
And if they can have a good non-district schedule, you got to think that Andrews game is going to be a big event in Big Spring. That's going to be a hot ticket. You're going to have a really good atmosphere for that one too. So this is going to be a fun season for Big Spring. A lot of kids with high expectations, with a lot of experience, and I know Coach McWilliams is excited about it. So it's going to be fun to see what they can accomplish.
Right, and with that, it's about time to wrap up this edition of the Countdown to Two-A-Days series, the Big Spring Steers. But before we do that, we need to remind you folks that on August 20th, that is our big day here at Big Country Preps. That's when we release our preseason preview, the annual preseason preview, the most comprehensive look at Big Country football of any media source, either in the big country or outside of the big country for that matter. It'll have everything you need for a preview. We'll have district predictions. We will have player features, more than 40 of them. We'll have opinion pieces. We will have team previews for every 11-man team that we cover, plus a 6-man preview, 2 6-man previews, by the way. So it's going to be loaded. Stats, standings, you name it. It is a ton of material. Please join us on August the 20th.
In the meantime, we appreciate you joining us for this episode of our Countdown to Two-A-Days series, and make sure you come back tomorrow when we move to District 4 with the Brownwood Lions here at BigCountryPreps.com.